All right, today we're going to dive into one of poetry's most impressive forms, the ode. Now, I know it might sound a little formal, maybe a bit old-fashioned, but trust me, this is a poetic form that packs a serious punch, both intellectually and emotionally. And in this explainer, we're going to see exactly why.
So let me ask you a question. What could a beautiful, ancient piece of pottery, a powerful gust of wind, and a huge celebration for an athlete possibly have in common? It sounds like the beginning of a really weird joke, right? But the answer is actually pretty simple. They've all inspired some of the greatest odes ever put to paper.
And that really gets to the heart of what an ode is. See, it's not just a quick poem scribbled down about a passing feeling. No, it's a deep, sustained meditation. It's a poet taking one single, significant subject and just turning it over and over, looking at it from every single angle with this incredible seriousness, reverence, and artistry. So to really get what makes an ode tick, we first need to pop the hood and take a look at its basic DNA. What is it that truly sets it apart from all the other kinds of poems out there? Now this is where it gets really interesting. Think of a short lyric poem like a snapshot of an emotion, a flash of joy, a pang of sadness. An ode, on the other hand, is like a full-length documentary. It takes that intense emotion, but it combines it with this incredible intellectual control, developing its subject with real depth and complexity. The ode didn't just appear out of nowhere, fully formed. It has this fascinating life story, this evolutionary journey that stretches all the way back to the ancient world. So, let's follow its path through history. Our story kicks off in ancient Greece, where the ode was this huge, public, ceremonial event. Then we jump to ancient Rome, where it kind of moves out of the public square and into the private study, getting a lot more personal. And after it was rediscovered during the Renaissance, well, that's what set the stage for its biggest transformation yet. So the original Greek ode, the kind perfected by the poet Pindar, it wasn't just a poem. It was pure spectacle. I really want you to picture this. A massive public festival celebrating an Olympic champion. We're talking a full chorus singing their hearts out, music swelling, dancers moving in perfect unison. It was this complex, majestic piece of public art designed to inspire total awe. And this shows you just how formal it was. I mean, the structure itself was literally a kind of dance. The strophe was sung as the chorus moved one way, the antistrophe as they moved back the other way, and then the epode as they all stood still to deliver the big conclusion. This whole structure was all about creating a feeling of balance, of symmetry, and high ceremony.
Then the Romans come along, especially the poet Horace, and they adopt the ode, but they totally change the scale. They tone down all that public grandeur. So if the Greek ode was like a grand public symphony, the Horatian ode is more like intimate chamber music. It's balanced, it's clear, and it's deeply personal. Absolutely perfect for quietly reflecting on big ideas like friendship, mortality, or just how to live a good life.
But the biggest shift, the most dramatic turning point in the ode's history, came much, much later, during the Romantic era. See, this was a time when poets started to really value individualism and raw emotion. And so this is where the ode stops looking outward at heroes and gods, and it starts looking inward, into the vast, complicated landscape of the human mind. The Romantic poets, we're talking about giants like Keats, Shelley, Wordsworth, they completely reimagined what an ode could do. They took its serious, meditative quality and turned it into a tool for exploring their own consciousness. The ode became a vessel for digging into memory, imagination, and that complex relationship between our inner selves and the natural world around us. And what's so cool is that the structure itself changed to mirror this journey of a thought. A romantic ode often kicks off by directly addressing something, like a nightingale. This then leads to this deep meditation full of questions and exploration, and finally it lands on a resolution, some kind of new understanding. It's literally the mind's journey, captured right there on the page. So, after this long and winding journey through history, why are we still talking about the ode? Why does this ancient form continue to feel so powerful, so relevant, even to us today?
Well, a huge part of its power comes down to this one specific device, apostrophe. It's that incredible moment when a poet speaks directly to something that can't possibly answer back. Think of John Keats saying, "Thou still unravished bride of quietness," directly to an old Grecian urn. This technique creates this amazing sense of intimacy and urgency.
It turns what could be a simple observation into a passionate personal dialogue.
And because of its deep, meditative structure, the ode is just perfectly built to tackle the biggest subjects you can imagine. It's a form that is not afraid to ask the most profound questions about beauty and truth, time and mortality, nature and art, really the very core of the human experience. Its range is basically limitless.
Ultimately, this is it. This is the magic formula. The ode survives because it pulls off this perfect, delicate balancing act. It holds incredibly powerful, raw emotion inside a structured intellectual framework. It creates a space where deep feeling and deep thinking can not only coexist, but actually make each other stronger. So I'll leave you with this question. If you were a poet right now, what would get your ode? The internet? Artificial intelligence? Maybe something simpler, like a quiet moment of human connection. The form is still here, and it's just waiting for someone to use it to elevate and explore the great subjects of our own time.